3, 2, 1.
And welcome back to the Thursdays Are the Best Days podcast, episode 332. We almost ended on, we should have done one more so we would have started on a good number.
But this lets us get back into the flow of things for her if he decides.
Oh shit, that's right. And it's not just episode 332 because two is 2 threes or 2 threes, and that's episode 33. So welcome back to episode 33.
Choo.
Is there any way I can quick scroll, load more episodes? Oh god, how can I get the fastest list? Oh, I think what was 33? How do I get 33? Ttbd podcast 33. Thursdays the best days 33. That
Why does it say the 62 episodes? What the fuck happened to this thing? Nope, not looking at that.
33. Huh. I don't have good Google search terms for episodes. Okay, I'm gonna figure this out. Popular episodes. Apparently 178 was a popular episode. Episode 55 was a popular episode.
Okay.
How's it going, Bruno?
55. It's going good. You know, busy but good.
Well, I have stuff to talk about, but I think in traditional sense, I need to ask you how was the traditional the traditional drink and wrap presents?
It hasn't happened yet.
Hasn't happened yet.
I'll get back to you on that one. I think that one's scheduled out for Saturday.
Saturday, okay. Sorry, I'm early.
I think. Yeah, you're a little. Come on, you think I'm ready by the 18th?
Well, you have 1 week.
Yeah, this is my fucking crazy week. All right, we're working on it.
You know, it's fair. I'm not judging. I thought you. I didn't know.
No, that did not happen yet.
Wait, is this how I do it?
But I can't find our podcast on YouTube Music, so that's cool. I tried.
Oh, I figured it out. I have 33 tabs on this. Oh god, it does not want to go to. You go to 30. I'm gonna get there, but this. I'm obviously using.
I
our
forgot
website.
we have a Twitter.
Why is this website so bad? Okay, so do you have the alcohol picked?
No. Just whatever. I have a bunch of shit.
I forget how. I thought you like might have bought like a special bottle for it every year.
There was a time when I did that, but then I amassed quite a few bottles and I haven't been drinking them fast enough, so I have a few now. And then I also, like, my brother-in-law gave me a gift of like an old fashioned that's already like pre-made. So I got like a bottle of that I could drink. But no, like I got Blue Knob bourbon. I've got what's that bottle? It's not Lagavulin. I wish it was. I don't think it's Lafroig either. I think Glenfiddich. I think I've got a bottle of Glenfiddich. That's a pretty good one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get back to that. You're gonna
Sure.
hold on to that. You're gonna put that in your right hand. But I'm gonna need you to get your left hand out. You know what episode 33 was?
No, not at all.
You have to know.
No, I was trying to search.
Let me put it this way. How many episodes do you think you and me have been doing the podcast?
What kind of 332? What do you mean?
Episode 33 was the first PA Boys podcast.
Oh Lord. Was Dit there?
No, it was just you and me.
Oh god, that was the
That
first
was
one.
the first one that you and me did together.
I
Next
remember there's a
episode,
spreadsheet.
next episode will be like 300 episodes of just consistently you and me, and not there was sprinkled in other people, but you and me like predominantly for the past 300 episodes, which I would have
You and
not guessed.
me and you. Yeah, no, that's kind of crazy.
So okay, so the Lee Fairkins Day
Uh,
whiskey that was in your right hand. Sorry.
so it's not Lagavulin. I wish it was. It's not Lefroy because I drank all that. This was Glenfiddich. I got a bottle of Glenfiddich, which I think is a pretty nice. I'm pretty sure it's a pretty nice bottle.
You could tell me it's the best bottle in the world, and I believe you.
That one's Scotch. I think I've got a bottle. I usually try and keep a bottle of Monkey Shoulder because that's just good stuff. That's not that cheap, or that is cheap. Um, apparently, Glenfiddich is the official partner of the Aston Martin Formula One team. Didn't know that one.
I saw an Aston Martin building in Miami.
Yes, I have a bottle of Glenfiddich 12. I guess I could figure out how much that is. I don't remember. That's one thing I like about PA. I mean, I hate everything else and I would have traded away in a heartbeat, but there's one store that sells liquor and I can go on it and they have like half decent way to figure out how much something costs or where I can find it.
Um,
Single malt 12. That's a $60 bottle of scotch. So that's a pretty nice one.
oh yeah.
It's good too.
Um, so, uh, I can't find the. Okay. Um, you wanna speak about expensive bottles of thing? I
Sure.
do have a random topic on this.
Sounds great. What's up?
Um, so Madeline and I went on a cruise.
Sure did.
Um, one of the activities on the cruise was it was on a sea day, and we never did it, but we always wanted to try it because it seemed fun. They had a wine tasting event, like special. You had to pay a
Sure.
little bit more, like you had to pay a little bit for it, like a wine tasting, truly. But we did two one day. One was a cheese and wine pairing, very interesting, very cool. Um, was like, here's an Italian champagne or not a champagne, an Italian prosecco with like Parmesan cheese, and like
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
Parmesan like came like more creamy as you drank the champagne, and it took the tartness, and like it was interesting.
Sure.
But the second one was an old world versus new world wine tasting. And the whole idea was you would try two wines that were made with the same grape, and they're like the same wine. So like
Yeah.
a wine like a the one was a Cabernet Sauvignon. It's with a special, or not a special. The certain uh grape is used, and it doesn't, like certain wines, like a Riesling wine, you have to use a Riesling grape. Like you have to use so much Riesling grape to make it a Riesling wine. If you
Sure.
use other grapes or other things, it becomes a blend and it's not a Riesling wine. Then it's a
Yeah.
different thing entirely. Um, one of the Cabernet Sauvignons we tried was from a winery called Eagle in Napa Valley, and that same winery, Screaming Eagle, um, also makes another Cabernet Sauvignon, but a special one. So they make a normal one that's in a normal price range for us people,
Okay.
but somehow they use those same grapes in a different, more intelligent, robust, like fancy way. And with those same grapes, they make a $500,000 bottle of wine.
Okay.
And that so I tried the cheap version of the expensive version, basically the same grape. Like I don't like that one grape could have gone to the expensive wine, but it went into the wine I tasted.
Hmm.
So I didn't try a $500,000 wine, but I tried the grape that could have became into a $500,000 wine made
I
by a
don't know. But how
winemaker
do you
that
do that? How do you elevate that grape that much?
uh barrels. I think like the quality of wood, like you get expensive
Oh,
wood,
okay, for
aging.
500 grand, I will find you a tree basically anywhere on the planet.
I think it deals with aging. So you like they have these wine barrels in for a long time.
Okay, that's fair.
Red wines. Like there's the sweet spot. Like red wines won't go forever, but like there's that like you
Yeah,
let it age from like um a lot of your kind of like your I don't know what I don't know Scotch bourbon. I don't know which ones are aged longer, but like you see that like 85-year age barrel, and you're like,
a lot
well,
of
it's
times they'll
not
do
that.
like 12 to 18 or so. Yeah,
But like I'm talking like the high, like you're going like massive end.
yeah. I don't know. I'm
So
not
like
sure.
whatever the massive end of that is like, it's not that it's that they said okay, we're gonna maybe make money on this in like 50 years. And like, how do you put a price tag on like? There's no, they can't make it again for you tomorrow because it's not the making it that was expensive. It was like them putting it on a shelf for 50 years, saying we need to make money on this in 50 years, and like you're not going to get this taste profile because it sat for this many years without like doing anything.
Yeah,
Time is an expensive quantity or uh quantity. There's a word. There's a Q word I
commodity.
think. Commodity.
Yeah,
Time is an expensive commodity that is impossible to replicate cheaply,
true.
probably at all. Um, that was that was um that was my wine. I had a sherry, so I like a port wine, and a port wine is brandy into a wine. You add brandy into a wine, and then you let it ferment, and that's a port wine, which are really good. But then a sherry is you take a wine and you let it ferment, and then you add brandy, and that becomes a sherry.
Did not know that.
I did not know that till I tried it. Um, so um, I did see you also had one other podcast text item. Oh, or we
No, I got
can,
a bunch.
oh, we can,
I have a few things.
we can.
So, do you want to talk about the first Sam's trip or the second one first?
I didn't know there's two. I thought let's probably
Well,
not start with the second because it might ruin the first. But we'll start at
it
one and
wouldn't,
go to
but
two.
okay. So, first one. Me and my dad were going to go somewhere. Got in the van, went to turn it on, and nothing happened.
It's less than ideal.
No lights, no clicks, no, absolutely nothing. No
Are you tell
interior
wait?
lights, nothing.
Well, the bar wasn't lit up.
Nothing.
We should call the army.
Not a damn thing.
Call FEMA.
You know? So, whatever, I forget exactly what we were doing, but I think it was a scheduled thing. Like, we were supposed to be going somewhere. Canceled that. Couldn't do that. So, we went to Sam's Club to get a new battery.
Just one. I thought you had two.
So, the second one's fine.
Ah,
The second one, it runs the lift. He got in just fine.
that's
Yep. Yep.
even that's even more the fuck you than anything. It's like, why is it dead? He just got in
Yep.
here.
I think that the battery was so dead that it wouldn't open the circuit to get to the second battery.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
13-month-old battery, by the way.
Car batteries are expensive nowadays too.
It's like $180 battery. Yeah. I got it replaced for free because it's a 3-year warranty. But for a 13-month old battery to die like that, 13 months, just over a year.
No, my boomer rant is that car batteries of like
Oh, the
I
shit.
they're shit, and like they've tripled in price.
Yeah.
I one time I went to get a new battery, like I had to get a couple batteries in school because of how cold it was, and I wasn't getting like the nicest ones because they kept going to shit because they were kept sitting in the goddamn cold so long.
Yeah.
Um, and I went. It was like somewhere back here. I got a new car, and it was like a new car. One time I had to get a new battery, and they like quoted me for the battery. I'm like, I just bought a bunch of batteries, bud. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, he's like, they ain't cheap anymore. And I like look at all the prices. I'm like, fuck,
Yeah,
you're not
they're
wrong.
crazy. They're stupid. It's crazy.
So dead sink first battery, primary battery,
Yep. Primary battery, kaput.
and those are,
Dunzo.
and if I remember right, that thing's just like hot swappable. You just throw that thing right in.
That
He
one's
said
the easy
sarcastic.
one.
Oh,
No,
that's the
that
easy
one
one. Okay.
that's the easy one. The
Okay.
second
Okay.
one is the pain in the dick.
Okay. Sorry. I thought they were both together
No.
by down there.
Oh no. The first one's easy peasy.
Okay.
But I don't even have to do it. That's how
That's
easy
fair.
the first one is.
Yeah. Okay.
Second one, no one wants to touch that fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, fair.
Ford doesn't even want to touch it, and it's their battery.
Oh, well, that's less than ideal.
They've tried to claim that that is not factory.
But you bought it from them factory.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
You're just sitting there like, I bought this van from you.
Yeah.
That was
So,
first trip. New battery.
yeah.
So wait, how did you get the car to, or how did you get the van to Sam's for them
I
to replace?
I jumped it with my truck and drove there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I think it probably recharged. It's only 13 months old. I don't know what made it flatline like that badly, but I don't know.
You just got a new one
But it
and you
was.
moved on with your life.
I took it there. They tested it. They said, "Yeah, no good." A guy that could barely speak English, which, whatever. But I couldn't understand him. I think he said something wasn't good, and I was getting a free battery.
You were
That's what
getting a
I
no.
know.
You were getting a no bueno.
If he would have said that, I would have understood that.
Yeah.
He was just like mumbling something very quietly. Whatever, free battery. It took way longer than it should have. There was like two people running the customer service desk and two people running the auto section. So I had to wait in the auto section. They gave me a paper to take to customer service to finish, like, to replace this shit. And that took forever because not only were there only two people working there, they only got one of the good desks with the good computer that can do everything. And then they've got like a shitty iPad on the other side. So you can only do some things with the computer. It's
Yeah.
fucking stupid. Anyways, that was the first trip. Second trip, much better experience. I had to run and get something, and I placed an online order and basically told them to get it for me for free because it was over $50.
Heck yeah.
I got there, got my shit in like 3 minutes. By the way, I round meet, that's what it was. That's why it was a trip by itself, basically.
Because it's jerky making time for the holidays.
Uh-huh. And then drove across the parking lot and got gas, which is the picture, for $2.93.
Woo! We're talking in the twos.
We're in the twos, Nick.
That's a beautiful two. You should, you should frame that. Might be the last time you ever pay two.
Yeah, it might be a while until I get that one again.
Is Sam's like is Sam's like a Costco or something like
Yeah,
that, where it's just a flat
Sam's
discount, not a rewards discount?
correct.
Like you didn't spend so much money and got like 10 cents or
Nope,
like 50.
that
Okay,
that is the price.
okay,
But you have to be a member.
right. I know. I
Yeah.
just like I don't have Sam's, never had Sam's, but I didn't know if they like. I have had BJ's and Costco and they just do a flat, but I didn't know if Sam's was any different.
Yeah, no, that's just like anyone with a Sam's membership coming off the road gets that price.
Sweet. Um,
Which it was, I think, 40 cents cheaper than the gas that I drove by on the way home.
that's a filler up price. That's like a
Yeah,
send that
no,
thing to F.
I know. Yeah, it was
So
good.
man, oh okay, not to pivot away, but I do think
No,
we got a couple things.
take it.
So it's Hatcast,
Yeah,
which segues into a minor story I have,
yeah.
and it's a story that it's like an ongoing story. I'm probably gonna have more stories about the story in life.
Mm-hmm.
But so I you know, I like I like I pick hats that I think are gonna get reactions from people in life. So
Okay.
I'm very strategic on my hats. I not that nothing against your hat. Anyone can wear the
No.
hats they want. I don't know if
That.
I would wear a more generic hat like you are wearing right now. It's like
Yeah.
a
No.
brand. It's a major. It's not like a brand people would stop you and say like, "Oh, you're wearing a." I
No.
forget even the brand of that.
It's Fox. Like
Fox.
Fox Racing.
Right. It's not so like
No.
I personally avoid those types of hats. I want like a hat someone will stop me with.
I understand.
So my pit hats,
Yeah.
as you can
I've
tell
I've
from
seen that happen. Physically seen it happen.
my Williams hat.
Fair.
I have a couple others, but like they're all in this light. So this is the hat I took for the cruise. Um, I didn't feel pity this year because they were on a
Okay.
bad stretch,
Okay.
so I didn't need people to like tell me about it. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go the Williams racing hat. Pisses Madeline off because I was wearing the hat in all pictures because I can't deal with sunlight. She's like, you're wearing that hat every fucking picture. I'm like, I'm like the one picture you wanted me to take off the hat. I'm like crying. The sun is burning my eyes. Like within 10 seconds, I'm like crying physically that it's too bright.
Are you a
However,
sunglasses person? Do you wear?
I have to, but I can't do
Yeah.
during pictures, so I have to. So
Mm,
I'm like, if you don't want sunglasses,
yeah.
I at least need the hat.
Mm, okay.
So this hat's in a lot of this year's vacation pictures. But the thing Madeline really hates is that I'm really smug about people always commenting. I'm like, it was about the cup shirt. Every time I wore the cup shirt, someone
Uh
would have
huh.
to stop to me and talk about it. But that's always my hats. She's
You
like,
talking about like the styrofoam cup shirt? Is that what you're
yeah,
talking about? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Um, and then hats. So during the cruise, I was stopped by multiple people to like talk to me about my hat, and I don't think it actually makes her mad, but she knows I'm very smug about it because
Yeah.
it's
It's
like
like,
the whole
God damn it, not again.
exactly. So I was like, oh, you're one guy. He was from another cruise, and we were just on a taxi, like an F-350 like multi open back taxi thing.
Yeah.
And then one guy, he must have been on another cruise because he had a uh, they were talking about other stuff that like wasn't relevant to my cruise, so they must have been on another one. And he's like, "Oh, Williams, how I haven't been keeping up. How are they doing this year?" And I'm like talking to him, and Madeline just sitting there like, "You fucking." And then a couple days later, being like, "Oh, you're the second guy with the Williams hat. There's another Italian dude that's like 6'5" on the cruise. You need to stop and see him. He has a Williams hat on too." And I'm like, "I'll have to find him."
I
And
love that. That's
fucking,
good. That's great.
fucking. But that was my hat story. It's in a lot of my photos this year. Fucking reeks. Fucking sweat. Like I had to like disinfect this thing. Too much
Yeah.
sweat.
I chuck them in the
Um,
wash machine.
yeah, it's probably for the best.
I mean, they eventually they get a little beat up. Like this one's
Yeah,
got the
but
brim of it,
I didn't
but
know if that was like by design though. Sometimes those hats have those types of designs.
I don't. No, that's not for me. I just want a hat. I don't buy pre-worn into the ground hats.
Gotcha. So
If you see me in a hat, whatever it looks like, I put it through that.
that was built Bruno tough.
Yeah,
Um,
I got the winter hat out though. This is the full back one, so that's
ooh, because I thought about it and it was the same place that I also was gonna pose you a question this week. I'm gonna
Okay.
segue to that. Okay. You've probably in your history of being on the internet on YouTube and like watching things have watched the game Tropico. Like the
Yeah,
whole idea where you were the dictator on an island. It was SimCity for island, but you were a dictator.
yeah. It was a different flavor of SimCity.
Okay. I'm gonna pose a couple scenarios. I want to tell me you're the dictator of this island. You get to decide
Okay.
how you want things done. Okay, you got your island.
Yeah.
Um, you're on this island and you get to pick anything and everything. So you get to pick what side of the road you drive on. What side of the road you picking?
Uh. hmm. Well, we're just gonna keep it simple. You're on the right, same way.
On the right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what would happen if for some reason made enemies and the only type of cars you could get were left-hand drive cars?
Some traffic things would suck.
But would you stay on the right hand side of the road?
Probably. It'd be so hard to change a whole population to do that correctly.
Right.
No,
So
yeah, that's the problem. The right.
okay.
Now you're on the left. That doesn't work. I think you'd have to stay,
Okay. So
even
on
though it would be like a safety concern.
you would stay on the right with a left-hand drive car, or
Yeah,
right-hand drive car.
correct.
Sorry.
Yes,
Yes.
correct. Because the
Okay.
problem is you make so many right-hand turns and you have to look through your car now.
Yeah.
It's
Sucks.
like literally a safety concern.
So in St. Thomas, a U.S. Virgin Island, the U.S.
Okay.
all the cars, and I say all the cars, enough cars that it would have to be in the major or majority. Like
Okay.
I'm sure I could have found one of cars were right-hand drive cars. What you expect with or left-hand drive cars? What you would expect from American-made cars
Yeah.
or North American? I don't even know. I don't know if South America does much different.
I think North. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna say our like Western Hemisphere cars. I'm just gonna generalize that the whole Western Hemisphere is probably like the same because like Canada's the same. I think Mexico's the same. Probably like Brazil's the same, and that's like all the major countries. Um, but St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Island, has predominantly left-hand drive cars, but they drive on the left-hand side of the road.
Hmm. I don't like that.
It was very. I was like, why? I'm like, I'm looking at and I've been there before, but I don't know if it ever clicked to me. 'Cause I'm like, I always knew they drove on, I would say, the wrong side of the road, personally. Um, but they were all driving just like normal American cars, and or non like North American cars. I think is safe to say
Sure.
because
They were
Mexico,
driving left-hand drive cars on the left side of the road,
yeah,
which is it's wrong.
right,
And like I was saying, it you make a lot of turns. Like I bet that if you drive on the left-hand side of the road, you make a lot of left-hand turns, right?
right.
Whereas we make a lot of right-hand turns. And like so many of those turns are like yield or something. Do you know how hard it would be to you're pulling up to a stoplight, let's say, and they have a right-hand turn lane that has a yield sign on it. Do you know how hard it would be to look over your shoulder through the car to see oncoming traffic at that yield sign?
Hard.
That's why
I
I'm saying it's a safety
yeah.
concern.
I
Instead of looking over your shoulder through the window out the car, you're looking over your shoulder through the whole goddamn car at Billy Bob and Jim.
so then I was in. I think this was St. John's, which is a British Virgin Islands, a
Okay, yeah.
British Virgin Island, 50-50 split
Hmm.
of left hand and right. Like if you went to the dealer, you would possibly walk out with either or probably.
Interesting.
And you just got you see people. You literally can see people like if you're in a light or something like that, staggered of like.
Yeah. That's that's weird.
So it's one thing to have all one, but then it was another thing just to see like people staggered on like what probably like what model like they got a this model. It probably is like by brand model like type thing, but like that
Yeah.
one first time I've been to St. John's, so I didn't ever get to see that perspective before. But
Interesting.
definitely something I thought you would be like it would tickle something in
But
your brain.
like I don't have an issue with the every once in a while or the couple cars. Like if you import your car from Japan or whatever, that's fine. I think it should be the majority. The standard should be the correct way.
Right?
Not like, hey, do whatever the fuck you want.
Exactly. Yeah, that was always interested in the cars. You see, saw some. Okay, you pivot to one of your stories. Another one. You go.
Do you want to hear good or bad?
Good.
So while you were away, Fee said to me, "Hey, can you get this show? I want to watch it again."
Hmm.
And he started watching Fallout.
Good show.
I agree. I watched it all.
Oh, I forget you never watched it.
Nope, that was the first time.
So you did like it?
Yeah, it was good. I thought it was a good show, period. Not like a good video game show or a good hey, that was something show. It was just a good show.
It was a good, yeah. Again, it was, people could get into it, but it was very loyal to the Fallout universe.
Yeah. But like I could say to my dad, "Hey, watch Fallout," if I wanted to.
Yeah, it
And
wouldn't.
him with no not I wouldn't even have to say, "Hey, that's a video game like universe." He could just watch the show and enjoy it probably. I'd be
I,
curious if anyone would find something weird about it if they had no idea.
it's definitely well. Some people might be like, "What the? Why is this so quirky?" But you'd be like, It's, it." You'd have to sell them on like, okay, it's post World War II, Cold War, and they never invented. It's the true premise of post World War II. They never invented the uh, uh, transistor, and everything was still tubes and large technology. They never figured out how to make technology small, but they just kept making technology. They kept advancing technology with the technology of what you would classify as tube era, and like how quirky everything is. That's why everything is like bulky, big, larger than life, and like a little bit like strange. It's all nuclear and tube.
Yeah. But no, it was just good.
Yeah,
Straight
I
up.
I can't wait for another season. I think it did a lot. I think it proof that source material can be enjoyable.
Yeah, it was good. I could see them like just finding another corner of the Fallout universe to tell another story.
Yeah,
Like if they didn't feel like or wanted to split off and do more, I could easily see them like picking another vault number and just diving into it.
heck yeah. So glad you watched that show. I
Yeah,
might have
it's a
more
good one.
questions for you on that one, but um, happy you got to watch that. I watched Clarkson's Farm season 3. Just the
Nice.
most just an amazing show. Let me put it this way: Amazon cameras.
Oh yeah,
If anything, I should have gotten the best quality for that because like I I'll, I will give Amazon this till the day I die.
beautiful
They
shots.
they don't cheap out on cameras. They say, "How can we
Or
get it?"
the like post processing too,
Oh
like
my
the color
god!
correction and stuff. They
As a studio, they get fucking shots.
yeah
And of Jeremy Clarkson doing random farm
of
shit.
like
Like,
a field full of shit, but
yeah.
it's a beautiful field full of shit.
Oh, yeah. So, but that leads in, so as you know, Madeline got me into this nasty habit of vaping.
Yeah, of course.
So I brought the vape on the cruise, which you're not allowed to vape in a lot of areas, but there are some areas you can do it, and then
Okay,
there's some areas you
fair.
can get away from or get away with it, kind of. Yes, maybe if you're lucky. So we have a balcony. We always tend to get the balcony.
Yeah.
So you're outside. There's no smoke detector. Like, how are you gonna have a smoke detector outside? So
Okay.
I'd go sit out on my balcony, and I'd like take my little boy, and I would be like at night sitting out there watching something like Clarkson's Farm, whatever, whatever. But sometimes my neighbors came out,
Yeah.
and here's the thing: you don't know at first. You don't know if your neighbors are narcs because
Or a grouchy old boomer.
exactly because there's a lot of signs that says you're not allowed to smoke on your balcony.
Okay, fair.
But the good but bad thing about vape is it's not a cigarette or cigar. There's no other than like sometimes you smell banana ice. Um,
God, fucking banana ice.
you
Yeah,
can get away with hiding it a lot better because it's you don't get
sure.
the
It's
like
not an offensive smell by
right.
default.
But I sometimes most of the time I'd be out there kind of alone, but like once or twice I'd come out here and I'd take a big hit, and then my neighbor would come outside and be just like sitting like through like a small
Like
divider. Like
2 feet away. Yeah.
I'm gonna talk. It's a bathroom stall divider where there's
Yeah.
like gaps on both sides, and like
Oh yeah.
if you like lean out to look out at all, you can like easily see around and like look at me. But I'd be like,
Yeah.
I'd take the hit and I'd be like, fucking like pounding my thigh, going like, try not to exhale, being like, Madeline just staring at me like, you fucking hold that in. We're not paying $250 cleaning fee if they narc on you. Fuck you. You're not. I'm like just sitting there like, uh.
Oh god.
But yeah. I'm gonna tell you that was the most. I had my little chair. I put when she wasn't out there. I put my little chair. I sat out there for like 3 hours the one night, just watching my shows, watching the ocean go by me. You know, it was amazing. That was one of my favorite parts every night to do that. Except the one night where the ship we didn't have a long hop to the from island to island,
Yeah.
but we had to get out 12 miles so the casino and stuff could open up
Oh yeah.
because you have to be in international waters.
Yep. Yep.
But they can't really go anywhere because like going places would mean you go farther than way than you're trying to go.
Yeah.
So the one night the ship was like dead. We were like barely moving.
Yeah. No, you're probably
There was
like
like
drifting.
yeah, and there was no wind. So the
Mm.
diesel fumes were
Oh.
because
Yeah.
these are big old turbo diesel. Like they're rolling coal to get
Mm.
these ships moving. Not just the ship, it's the generator.
Yeah.
It's not just engine. It's like they have to be these things are cranking just to power the whole goddamn thing.
Yeah.
The one night I came in and I like started stumbling. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm high on diesel fumes.
Maybe
Just two
oxygen
hours.
deprived.
It's like, and after like an hour, I'm like, oh, it's getting better. It was not getting better.
You were getting used to it.
Yeah. I'm like, I come in, Mounds like, are you okay? I'm like, I think I'm high on diesel fumes. Like the air tasted so good that it was like just pure air and not like diesel laden um, CO2.
Yeah.
Um, but that was my. Yeah, I was always on my balcony, just kind of like keeping the eye out, fucking next to some French Canadians. They were cool, kind of. But
Fee would have been pissed.
man, I tried the one night they were kind of there. They were leaning out, and I was like there, and I was like, I started talking to the guy, but he doesn't speak that much English. I'm like, come on. It's
I
just your
just
subspec of like Canada that speaks French. Like your greater country, your greater like hemisphere speaks English, and you speak barely good. Like, come on.
I just for whatever reason I always find that hilarious, and I always think of Fee whenever someone says French Canadian
Oh yeah,
because he's just had a lot of bad experiences with French Canadians and them being like jerks to him and stuff. But
oh
it's
yeah.
just hilarious to me.
So, um, I only have one kind of bad story from the cruise. Not bad, but like kind of like what the fuck, guys.
Yeah.
So, it was at this uh St. John's. Brenda or Madeline and I had never been there before. Um, we had an excursion because we had a $50 credit for all excursions, so it ended up being free. So
Okay.
it was a beach break where they would put you in a van. You would get van to a nice beach, unlimited rum punches. You got chairs. You got to sit on the beach for like 3 to 4 hours, and
Sure.
it was we you got banned back, and the ship wouldn't leave because it's an excursion through the cruise, so you could go and enjoy, and then free taxi
Yeah.
basically. It was all worth the money. When it was we didn't even pay, so it was all worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, one I've never heard of this Toyota van before. It's a Hiace.
A high ace. Yeah. That's basically a medium K truck. Yeah.
So one, these were everywhere. That was like the taxi van there, a Hiace. Never. It was like I was like so confused of what they were. Never seen it before. Um. So they obviously load up the van with like the 12 people that can fit in there. They're not gonna just put like two people. Like it's the
Yeah. No, they
excursion. They
want them
load them
full.
up and go. So our group of 12 people was like, hey, here's your driver. He's gonna take you here and he'll pick you up there, and you have to go to the same van. Whatever. So we load up. We have like a 25-minute drive to the beach from the port. Madeline and I are sitting there. It's like hot in the van because there's not enough AC, and it's hot outside. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a full like van, so it's like you're kind of sardines in
Sure.
a can.
Yeah.
But one of the seats was the shotgun next to the driver.
Yeah.
Um, uh, right hand side drive vehicle, by the way. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
doesn't matter to the
I
story.
that
It
one
just
kind of makes sense because that's like not like we aren't allowed to have those in America.
right.
They have to
Um,
be like the 25-year-old import shits
right.
for you to get that. So yeah.
So someone has to sit like right next to the driver and like sit up there. So it's this dude that's in like all tie dye and got his like beard braided with like beads and stuff at like one of the one of the like
Straight from Jamaica, man.
basically right from the stall. He got it braided that morning. I'm like, okay, this guy's a little like whatever. Um, so he's up there talking to the driver and not asking like, oh man, uh, uh, not like history or not like he's just asking this driver some like and to me awkward question like, dude, stop fucking asking this dude about it. It's like, what do you eat for breakfast?
What the fuck?
He's like, what are you happy your kids went to school on the island? Like stuff like that. Like I
Why?
I don't know. I'm like sitting here like, dude, stop fucking asking this
Like,
dude like
okay,
these
like, what do you care enough? Why are we
right and like
talking? I don't know.
and nothing against this guy, but I'm like, he's a taxi driver on an island, like, but like he's doing this because it's like a, probably the best one of the better sources of income for the area and for like yeah like
It honestly probably is.
and it I don't doubt it. I'm not he's probably made a good living. He's apparently has two kids and they're both like older and graduated and they like seem fine like but like this dude just like asking him all these like stupid questions like oh, do you eat a lot of banana? How many bananas do you eat a day? That was a question because like he brought up, oh, I have a banana.
Bananas?
Yeah, but these I was so just ready for to like strangle this guy from the back. Um, but whatever. It's a family of four. It's him, his brother. I was assuming the one brother's partner, spouse, or whatever.
Yeah.
And their mom. So it was a group of four. Whatever. We
Okay.
get to the beach
Sure.
break. We you know I'm fine. We get out of the van. They start serving the rum punches, which are just quite honestly punch flavored rum. Like I was holding my glass like down at my side, and I could pungently smell the rum.
Yep. Okay.
So we have our day. I talked to all these
I'm
old
go-
dudes to
Hold on.
say,
I need to back up for a second. That's what your bartender was feeding me at your wedding.
yeah,
It
okay,
was
is that what?
it was Coke flavored rum. I
You
wanted a
know,
rum and Coke. That's what it was.
yeah. So I had two. I was like, no, this is a little aggressive for me. I don't need
This
to
is
get
dangerous.
yes. So we have our day. A bunch of old people talk to me. That's where I talked to the dude about smoked turkeys versus fried turkeys type thing.
Okay.
Dude just
Yeah.
wanted to talk. All the old guys wanted to talk to me that day. Whatever. I was talking to him, having a good time. Um, the vans start showing up. People start loading up to leave. Our guy was a little bit later. He was one of the last ones to come. But whatever. I don't care. But these two sons were like having to quite literally hold their mom up and like she could not walk on her own. She got somehow like probably blackout drunk on these rum punches. She only had four. I don't
Oh,
fucking believe that. I don't believe that. But she's
oh
like not
God.
sober in the slightest. Um,
It might have been a medication thing, to be honest with you.
could be. I don't know. They claim they've never seen her that drunk. I'm like, she's fucking wasted. And Madeline and I are slightly annoyed only because we know like, oh yeah, let's throw this woman in a on these like island road like bumpy twisty like
Yeah.
she's gonna puke. Um, it was quite evident. So we weren't thrilled. Um, these two sons like took her to the one shower, tried to put cold water on her to sober her up. I'm like, what they should have done is like put the finger down her throat and made her throw up, but they did not do that. But okay, here's where the fun story begins. The one son and his partner sat in the back originally, so they went right back to where their seat was, in the very back. The other son that wanted to talk to the driver, everyone was like, maybe we should have her sit up front. So it's like less, it's always easier up front than toward like not in the front
Yeah. Yeah.
for like car car motion and stuff for
Yeah.
someone that might
No,
be
like
sick.
literally car geometry. It's
Yeah.
easier in the front
So well,
instead
like
of bouncing in the back of the bus.
the son that was asking the driver all these stupid fucking questions were like, well, no, I don't want her to sit up front because I want to sit up front to talk to the driver more. I'm like, you fucking, I was just so, I hated him at that point. So what do? They leave their mom alone, kinda, in the car because none of them sat
Yeah.
anywhere near her,
Yeah.
and they made a bunch of strangers sit by her as she's like puking in this towel for the car ride. So as we drive, she obviously starts like throwing up in this towel that they gave her to like throw up in.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Um, the son in the front's like completely ignoring her, and the son in the back with his partner, um, are like too far away and they aren't like doing anything. So she like all of us around her are just like, oh, it's okay. Come on, let's move the towel so you have more space to throw up. Fucking just like, because the son wanted it started re-asking and more dumb fucking questions of the same
Oh
like
boy.
line. Finally, the son in the back's partner comes up and like squeezes past like us and like the first row was 3 seats, the second row was 3 seats, but one was off to the side aisle to get back to the other seats and the two
Yeah.
seats. So it was then me, then Madeline. So this woman, who I assume is like roughly between my age and like maybe plus 3 years at max. Um,
Okay.
at the time I thought that. Um, comes up and at like midway through the drive and starts like trying to see if she's okay. But there's no space in this van, Bruno.
No, it's a K truck. That's what it is. It's seats and wheels. To take your
So
pick.
the
Which do
mom
you
was
want?
in the mom was the leftmost on the front row. The aisle was next to me. So the aisle kind of almost came up behind her, but not quite. It was kind of off-centered based on it.
Hmm.
So she's like trying to lean over to make sure she's okay. But then there's no space. So when she leans over, I'm sitting there like just trying to keep my space personal. Her ass is just rubbing up against me
Oh,
constantly.
lovely.
I'm like looking at my like I'm not trying. Like she's quite literally like giving me basically like a lap dance right now, and I'm like just awkwardly sitting there while she's like leaning back like, oh,
God.
I'm sorry, but she's like continuously just like rubbing her ass on me like
Lovely.
for 10 minutes straight. So we finally fucking get there. They get the mom out of the van. They're like, "Oh, you okay, mom?" Like, yeah, but she's not okay. She's been throwing up. Fucking take
Yes,
care of
but
your goddamn
no.
mom. One, I hope if like your mom was ever like that, because my mom, I would sit next to her so other people wouldn't have to and like make sure she's okay.
I'd probably give her
Maybe
the
you,
front seat and sit behind her and. But, yeah, yes, Nick. I'm not a shitty person. Basically, is what
right?
I'm trying to say.
No, I don't believe you would be. But okay, so that this whole endeavor is finally over. I think I already have the story in the bag for the podcast.
Yeah.
But that's not fucking all, Bruno. So there was another youngish couple sitting behind me, Madeline and I. But before there was another like another row for like the back.
Yeah.
Um, so we're walking back, and Madeline and I are talking like that was fucking gross. I'm like those I fucking hate that son. And the other couple are like, you guys don't even know. I'm like, what don't I know? She's like, um, the son with the partner in the back. He's like, how old do you think she is? I'm like, I don't know. Again, like roughly like our age, maybe plus a couple years. She's like, she's 47. I'm like, I'm like, you're. I wish I had a picture of this woman. She's like Asian, but she looks like 27.
Oh, that happens.
It
Yeah.
does. But I'm like, what do you fucking mean she's 47? She's like, yeah, you missed a conversation back there where like the 33-year-old son and this 47-year-old woman, he's talking about how he wants kids and stuff, but she's fucking 47 and already has a 25-year-old daughter. And
God.
I don't think she's gonna have kids, bud. But you're sitting with here like talking about how you want kids, and like I was like, I don't think you understand
How do
how this
you have
works.
that conversation while your mom is like fucking blackout drunk in the
No,
car
but
throwing
I'm
up?
we're Madeline and I and this couple are like walking back to the ship to like get back on and stuff. I'm like, you're fucking with me. Like that woman was not 47. They're like, but I'm right here with you. I have no idea what's going on with that. And I'm like, but then I saw multiple times on the cruise. I'm like looking at this woman, like, how are you 47? That was my story. I hope that guy stubs his toe for the next like week. That was the only like kind of like what the fuck moment on the cruise, but you know, whatever.
You
Like,
know,
uh, any other? I have plenty of other stuff, but I'm gonna pivot back to you in case you have anything.
I have
Any?
I have a couple things.
Yeah.
I'll start with the bad and then go to the worst. Okay.
Oh,
I ordered a package, right? Not Christmas related, but just something I needed.
right.
It was coming UPS. Well, I got a delivered notification. I can't fucking find it. It's gone. I don't know
No
what the deal
picture
is.
or just like a delivered.
About the worst picture I've ever seen.
Okay.
There was nothing. I could tell it wasn't my house, but that was about all I could tell.
Okay.
Um, like I couldn't even see the package in the picture.
Well,
It was that
you
bad.
know. Okay.
Um, but that's fine. Whatever. I'll get it figured out. That's not too bad. Just my delivery woes coming back again. The bad one is I had a tree fall down and it smacked the house.
Oh shit. I thought you got rid of a lot of the trees that would do that.
And I mean, yeah, sure, but there's a lot of them. So I've got a little bit of damage. I've got some siding that got torn off. It smacked the roof a little bit. I don't think it's an issue though. Which one of these pictures is the one to send you? It happened at 1 a.m. Scared the absolute shit out of me.
This wasn't an early night, like you were already up in Discord.
I was still awake. Yes.
In Discord, and like you told the boys like, what the fuck just happened, or were you just like up and about doing other things?
I think I was not in Discord. I
Okay.
don't think anyone was here when this happened. I don't have a picture of the whole tree, but here's.
Bad windstorm or just it fell?
It was windy. It was very windy. Yes. So like that's the bottom of it. I think it was a rotten out tree. Apparently.
Oh, did it hit the tank?
No, that it came from in front of the tank.
Oh, okay.
And then you got like up on the roof. I should get these pictures and show them while I'm looking at them. I will
Oh,
do a
that
little
thing fucking just landed.
smacked the siding and broke a window.
And a window. Shit.
But thankfully, it's a double pane window and it only broke the outside pane of the window.
Okay, so they're kind of older style windows still. They're not like the vinyl. Are they like the vinyl? Nice. Like.
It's a vinyl. It's a casement window though.
Oh, okay.
They're nice windows, but it's one big window. It's like I don't know, 18 by 36, probably.
Okay.
It's a pretty big window, but it's all one window and it's vinyl frame around it, and it's double pane with an air gap in between or a
Okay.
gas gap. I think it's some nitrogen or
Yeah,
something, a gas. So they're nice windows. Smacked the outside pane though and broke it. But that means I don't gotta like cardboard up a window, so that's good.
You had the gun out and you had the blicky. You were like, "Who's breaking
No,
it?"
it was one of those oh shit, what the hell is happening kind of moments.
You had the
Like,
flashlight out and you were like,
I brother, I'll show you the. Here's the 1 a.m. picture. Have that one.
"Oh, you fucking went. You went on. You probably had like 4 flashlights out. You probably had
That
the
was
head
that
one
was one.
on.
That was one. So yeah.
Damn.
Well,
Apparently I missed shit.
tree fell down. Boom.
Huh. Maybe you should be Maybe you need to in the spring be tapping a couple of these trees.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more I need to take down. You know, I think
If
I'm
one,
gonna have to go around and do that.
if one's rotten, there's probably more that are
I'm
rotting.
sure there are. That's just annoying.
Less annoying than
I know, I know.
less annoying than the tree hitting the house.
So,
That an insurance thing?
yeah, it is.
I didn't know if they covered trees.
They do. They're they're covering it. It's fine. They're not. It's fine. It'll
Good.
be fine. It's
Crazy.
just annoying. It's like I gotta replace a window and get some siding done. So, we'll see.
You, you want to hear my annoying story?
Sure.
So Madeline and I have won. Okay, we've never flown out of Philly before, or she has. I haven't. So I've never new airport. So always have to
Okay.
deal with new layouts, new this, that, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, Philly airport parking isn't cheap, so I ended up doing a third party lot. I typically do like long term airport parking because they always have shuttles and like it's always convenient typically.
Sure.
But the Philly one was pretty expensive. So I was looking at other options. So there's third party options for uh it. I found one. It was like ABR parking, free shuttle to and from, you know, but it was
Yeah.
half price from the airport. Not half price from. It was right across the street from long term parking, so no different than if I probably parked in long term parking in terms of distance from the airport,
Yeah.
and half the price. Um, so we get in, we get to Philly, we get to the airport. I find this parking place. I pull in. Um, I uh, I get directed to go to a certain spot. I go to my certain spot. I wait for a shuttle. Um, I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt and just like a small, light jacket, the lightest
Yeah.
jacket you could probably ever get.
I mean, you're
Um,
going down to Florida. Yeah.
right. And I'm like, I'm not bringing jeans. The only time I wear jeans is when I come back. So I'm not gonna waste all the freaking having a whole pair of jeans. No, screw that. So I'm standing in like the trunk of my car area, waiting for a shuttle to come around and pick us up because they're going around dropping off and picking people up as they
Yeah.
take with the airports to the different side like stuff. So we're sitting out there, and I just keep hearing a car alarm going off, and some dude's just absolutely screaming his head off, and I can't see what's
Good.
going on. And Madeline and I are out there for maybe like 15 minutes, and we just hear this, oh Jesus, fuck, oh Lord, what the fuck, 20 minutes of this dude just screaming like just like all this, and then like the Hong Kong. No idea. I'm like trying to walk around see if I can like figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Can't see anything. Eventually, the shuttle comes. We throw our bags in the back. Madeline and I hop in, and we start to go towards the airport. As we're pulling out of like the parking lot gate, right outside where I had turned possibly like minutes before this whole event happened, massive fucking accident. Two cars just like ripped their
Oh
front ends off
God.
each other. And this dude was screaming because he was upset that like his car's front end was in like 1,000 pieces in here.
It's a terrible time too. Whether you
Right.
just got back or just are leaving, either way, terrible timing.
Yes. So like Madeline and I looked like, oh shit, that's what that screaming was about. But like it started almost immediately like after we got there. So it like literally
Yeah.
happened
Yeah.
to happened minutes after we got there. But that was that was an annoying thing. That was just like a precursor to this. Never flown out of Philly, so we got there, and I've never flown American. I've done a bunch of the other brands, never that one for this, that, the other
Okay.
reason, just never got on
Yeah.
one of their flights. So uh we have our big bags and our checked bag or our big checked bags, our carry-ons and a backpack. Because
Yeah.
we need all the space we can get. We decide, oh hey, when we're checking in, they said you want to check your carry-ons for free. That way you don't have to like deal with them, the overhead bins.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to take them through security. I'm like, sweet, yeah. I check bags when I can. I hate carry-ons. They're just annoying to deal with. Um,
Fair.
uh,
In my eyes, they're the safe bag, but I understand what you're saying. Just like you
So
like your hat and I like my hat.
yeah, um, we we do our flight, whatever. As we land in Miami, we get a notification. Um, oh hey, two of your bags arrived ahead of time. They threw them on a plane before our plane that was also going to Miami from Philly. And we're
Mm,
like, oh, okay,
mm,
whatever. They're like, go to the baggage desk and get your bags.
mm.
Um, so they're there. They just put them on the plane ahead of us. So they weren't, they weren't like they're throwing them on the plane that lands 2 hours later. They were gonna be there ahead of time.
Yeah, no, I'm following. That's just
So
worrying.
we went to the baggage carousel first. I got my real checked bag, and Madeline got her carry on.
Okay.
Uh, so we had one big suitcase, one small suitcase, and we
Yeah.
were missing a big and a small.
Yeah.
So we go to the baggage desk, and they said, okay, it's here. You're gonna have to go to this room that's like uh has like BOS. It's this door with a bell on it with the words BOS on top of it. It's near door 6. I'm like, what? And they like gave me vague
Okay.
directions to this door 6 where this door was. I'm like, okay, whatever. Madeline's a little annoyed. I'm like, whatever. It's probably just an area they put bags so that they don't get like stolen. So we stumble around this airport, finally find this door after like being lost in vague direction. I ring the bell for on this door. Some dude comes out and he's like, "Why are you here? What are you doing?" I'm like, "Okay, what? Whoa! I was told to come here, and like this woman gave me a little piece of paper that said like come to this door, and I had to show him this little piece of paper." He's like, "Okay, you can come in here, but you can't look around too much. You have to go find your bag and get out."
What the
Madeline and I both
fuck?
can't go in there. Only I could have, or one of us could. So I'm like, I'll go in. So I go in this room and like I start like there's multiple aisles of luggage. He's like, you have to go up and down this one. Okay, just this one. There's other luggage and stuff. I'm like
As long
looking
as
around. He's
my
like,
bag's in it, great.
yeah. I'm like, I look around. He's like, don't look around. Just get your bag and go. I'm like, okay. I go up and down the aisle a few times. I'm like, I don't see either luggage. So I'm like, I go to the guy and I'm like, my luggage isn't here. He's like, it's here. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's not here. It's it's not here. So he's like, I have to give him the little stickers, and he like looks it up, and he's like, it's not here. Great, I told you that. He's like, you need to go to the baggage carousel like 17, and it's there. I'm like, oh okay.
Oh
So
boy.
Madeline, I leave the door. Madeline's like, where's our luggage? I'm like, it's at baggage carousel 17, apparently. So then we have to walk all the
Oh
way to
boy.
the other baggage carousel, and thankfully, I then see our luggage. It's sitting like behind this like those rope things that
Sure. Yeah.
I don't even know what they're called. And there's a
I
woman
don't
there. I'm
know.
like, hey, those are my bags, and she's like, you need to show me some proof. And I'm like, fine. Again, I normally throw away those stickers. I don't normally keep them because they're normally like I don't normally have ever had issues with this, but I'm always gonna save them.
Yeah.
But I had to hand him the stickers, and she had to like verify they were the right ones, and she gave me our luggage finally. But the whole endeavor took like an hour,
God.
and
Fun.
it was not fun. But we got our bags. They were there ahead of time, so technically we did have to wait, but it wasn't because we had to wait for like a plane to land or something like that. But it was just like it was just annoying.
Yep.
That was my.
Sounds like it.
I was less concerned because, I mean, obviously I was worried, but like I had my big bag, so that was like nice. But like I was worried Madeline
Sure.
didn't have her big bag.
Yeah.
Because that had all of our stuff, like basically like
Yeah.
all of her clothes for like 2 weeks, basically.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good time.
Like even if you have your safe bag, you still need a lot of clothes for a 2 week cruise,
Oh,
basically.
sure. The 2 weeks is a long time. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was Miami Airport, pretty okay. Would fly out of there again. Philly Airport, I'd probably avoid if I could. Not a fan of Philly.
I think I've been there before, but it was so long ago. It was like 13 years ago.
If when you talk about your choices being Newark, New Jersey, Baltimore, or Philly, Newark and Baltimore, I love vastly more than
Sure.
In terms of like super close ones to fly out of,
Yeah.
it's like 3 of 3. It's
Yeah.
not maybe Baltimore I like more than Newark, but I've flown out of Newark more. But I either or, um, I'd like equally. I wouldn't be upset with either of them. So, um, I have some other stuff, but it can wait. Anything short, anything sweet.
Mm,
Did you have good Thursdays? Were they best days?
they were pretty good days. Yeah, I'd say so. I've been reading a lot lately. Um, I've been reading The Wandering Inn, and I've been
You, s-
trying some audiobook things with it.
I thought you started that one with audiobook, or did you started reading that? I thought
I
you started that one a while ago, but I thought you were
both,
doing the audiobook. Okay.
both of those things are true. I tried the audiobook. I had a lot of trouble with the audiobook because the audiobook and the book didn't match, and I could only do audio some of the time, but I wanted to read more. So the fact that they didn't match was a problem to me.
Yeah,
But from book 2 on, they match. So,
that's good.
um yeah, I did start that a while ago. The books are massive and there are many of them. For instance, I am according to the audiobooks that are released, I'm 68 hours in out of 384. According to the text, I am 5.2% through.
It's just a chunk.
There's so much of this text released.
Well, you have a lot to read then.
I it's according to my book reader, I have 825 hours of reading.
It's a lot.
It's a do I have a I don't know what a page means, but there's 44,000 of them.
Well, it's a lot.
Oh, characters in book 68.8 million. There you go. 12 million
Woo.
words.
You
But
know,
it's been good. It's been a good book. I I think I have two problems with audiobook. One is the one that I told you that I was trying to do it and also read text and at some points like flip flop and that didn't work out too well. The other is I think if I'm not hooked on a book, I can't do audiobook yet.
yeah, you have to get yeah, or you have to be so into audiobooks that you can just accept anything about them and just move on with them.
Yeah, I think I need the hook to set first before I could switch to an audiobook.
Yeah, I always start like I'm not gonna transition back and forth from them. So if like I do an audiobook, I have to do audiobooks the rest of the way through. I can't pivot.
That's fine. I don't seem to have that problem at all.
Yeah,
Like I can set one down and start reading. I
my
could
issue is I'll
flip flop literally.
my issue is mostly due to the fact that I'll start a series with an audiobook, and then if I start reading them, I won't understand. I won't visit. I can't. I'll start associating the names and how I believe. Like I'll visualize the names after read of me and how like they would be
Mm,
spelled,
mm-hmm.
but then you actually see them spelled, and I won't realize a character's name is spelled that way, and I won't almost not know that it's a certain character.
Yeah,
Like
there
I'll
are
have
some
that.
doozies in this book,
I
but
like.
yeah,
I have a couple that I'll see Reddit posts about the communities of the books, and they'll talk about a character. I'm like, what character is that?
like
And I'll
who the
realize,
fuck are
oh,
you talking about?
that's how you spell that with a K.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, oh, so yeah.
But no, it's good.
We'll have some more book stuff to talk about.
I'm
Um,
sure
uh, but like all good Thursdays, they always do have to come to an end because
they
that's
do.
the only way you have a new Thursday come along. And you know
True.
what that means?
That's all we
We
have.
have for this week's episode for Thursdays are the best days podcast. Thanks for listening and goodbye.
See you later.